We arrived in West Yellowstone just after lunch and it was too early to be able to get into our accommodation, so we went looking for some good town food and explore. After the wilderness, we both found this super busy small town to be just too much. Tourists were everywhere and everything was ridiculously expensive. While I went about doing a resupply, Helen went and visited the Grizzly and Wolf Discovery Centre. From her feedback, it was a really good experience being able to observe these wild creatures up close. Both supermarkets failed to have everything we needed for a good resupply, and if I'm honest, I would say that West Yellowstone was the town I enjoyed the least while on trail. We walked out of town early the next morning into Yellowstone National Park. I was glad to be leaving West Yellowstone behind us. On this day, not only did we enter into a world famous national park, but we also left the state of Montana and entered into Wyoming. I doubt Montana could have given us any better experiences. It is a state of both beautiful scenery and people. We were excited to finally be in Yellowstone. A big part of the reason we had taken the Butte Cutoff alternative was to be able to spend a couple of extra days in the park. Everyone has seen the amazing wildlife in countless documentaries. Here we were on foot, ready to experience it in person. Our expectations were extremely high. The road into the park was almost gridlock. As soon as we left the road behind, the crowds disappeared and we were able to relax and begin soaking in the beauty. Through this section, Helen unexpectedly decided to start photobombing with surprise announcements. I hope you enjoy.
I think I need a poo.
Morning guys. So we left West Yellowstone this morning. Now we're actually in Yellowstone Park. So far it's actually been quite flat. There's quite a few geothermal vents and bits and pieces. So over the next 4 or 5 days, I think it's 174 kilometres through the park. Got some good camp spots picked out. Got our permits yesterday, so yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool time. Mostly we're just on the lookout for bison. Well, I am anyway. Particularly interested in looking at the bison. Yeah, this geothermal stuff's cool, but I don't think it's that much bigger than what we get in Rotorua and such places. So yeah, hopefully I can get some animals on film, because all of the real interesting stuff so far has had no interest in sticking about. Well, I fished my phone out and got the camera running, etc. But yeah, it's a pretty cool place to be. We're only about probably a mile and a half, couple of kilometres from the trailhead where it was very busy, and people just disappeared. No one's really interested in doing anything other than driving around in their cars, hoping to see stuff. So I expect the park to be pretty much ours when we are on these backcountry trails. It's pretty cool. We're going to try and make it to Old Faithful Village tomorrow. We've heard there's a good buffet. I think it's like $12. And we're in the business of going damaging the buffets where possible. Just one of the geothermal pools here. Helen is going to hop in and enjoy a nice bath.
I think I need a poo.
Good morning, everyone. So we left Old Faithful Village yesterday. That was a real experience. We got to go and see some of the bigger geysers, but just the sheer amount of people there was crazy. Helen and I both felt a little bit overwhelmed after spending so much time in the wilderness on our own, or just seeing the odd person. We did try and do a bit of a resupply at the general store, which turned out to be absolutely useless. But then a couple of miles after we had left the village, we actually met father and son who were returning after a 5-day trip, and they had overpacked. So not only did we get plenty of food off them and the food that we wanted, we also managed to replace Helen's lost bear spray and pick up another brand new gas canister. So that was fantastic. And then we just had a short walk to our campsite, which was really lovely, teeming with mosquitoes as per normal. Yesterday I was speaking to a northbounder, the first one we met, who was saying that the mosquitoes are just crazy in the south of Yellowstone, and then in the basin, which we will be in a week or so, the ticks are crazy. So sounds like we're in for putting up with a lot of bloodsuckers. Heaps of holes like this. I don't know if the steam's showing up, but certainly very geothermal here. It's pretty though, and there's lots of cool animals. As soon as you get away from the Old Faithful village though, the thousands of people just melt away. No one's out here walking. It's just the odd hiker, so it's really nice. So our next stop is Du Bois, which we found there's a place you can stay for free free showers and bits and pieces. It's very nice to save a few dollars. And then from there we go through South Pass City, and then Atlantic City. I think South Pass City has a population of 0. It's just an old gold mining town that has been sort of set up as a museum. And then I think Atlantic City's population of 20 or something. It's a bit silly calling them cities, but that's what they do here. And then on to Rawlins. So Wyoming is off to a really good start. And things are changing already. It's quite flat here, but it won't be too long until we back in the mountains, and then we'll do the Great Basin walk, and then more mountains, and before you know it, we'll be heading to Canada for our break in the middle. It's pretty cool. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Day 4 in Yellowstone. Been walking for about 8 hours and down Heart Lake. It's interesting because up here is geothermal and the bottom is a nice deep cool lake. So yeah, plenty of variety. I think it's going to rain. 100,000% over mosquitoes here. It does smell like farts. And I believe that Helen needs to poop. It does. Only more sort of sulphury. So yeah, pretty cool. Except for the mozzies, they suck.